Okay, folks. Sorry about the delay here. I had two live streams going, one that wasn't supposed to be, and there we go. Hopefully, I didn't lose too many people. Yeah, I lost a lot of people. Okay, do we have anybody out there? All right, cool. Looks like we're starting to build back up again. All right, looks like I hit the wrong go live button. All right, so let's do that. Do 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 do. Sorry for the dead air here, folks. Okay, we're going to end this one. We're going to get started in a second, folks. Sorry. Okay. Hey, TA, how you doing, brother? Cherry, oh. Sorry for the technical issues and the delay. I apologize. I really do. It's been a technology... Hey, Pat. Good day today. All right. Perun. Hey, brother. Good to see everybody. Okay, I'm going to get going here. And for those folks that are new and just joining in, welcome. If you want to get alerted 15 minutes prior to when I go live, there's a link below in the video description area. It's called 15-minute alert or link, or whatever it's called. Enter your email address on there. You'll get an alert 15 minutes prior to me going live, so that way you'll be on time. I may be on time if I hit the right button. And Cherry, that's great. Y'all don't forget the thumbs up. Yes, please, thumbs up. Hit the like button. Share with a friend, please. I need to get my viewership up above 2,000 by June, okay? I mean, I have these kids out there. They have 600,000 followers. And they're trading stocks. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. I met with people yesterday that said you're doing everything wrong. All right. So, more on that in the future. So, let's begin with what a week, right? It's been a crazy week. It's a perfect example of a week where you cannot allow your emotions to get the best of you. Logic will prevail. Do not listen to the talking heads on TV. They will lead you down the wrong path every single time. Tuesday night, all I heard was on Fox News, you had these ex-generals, these ex-CIA guys, and we're going to war this, and just doom and gloom. Then, of course, on the left-wing channels, you had how they need to re-impeach Trump for this and going to war that. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. So there was a strategy. And the strategy was that on Tuesday evening, we were going to do nothing. Nothing until the last moment. And I started tweeting. I rarely don't tweet, but I wanted to memorialize what I was thinking so that I could come back and say, okay, you know, here's what I was thinking, and I documented it. I memorialized it. So I'm not just making it up and say, oh, this is what I was thinking, this is what I did. This I posted about 3 minutes prior to the end of the after hours trading session. We went long of the LABU, which is a leveraged ETF, putting you long of the biotech stocks. 20 minutes prior, I was ready to go buying more gold mining stocks. I had my finger on the button, ready to press buy. And then I said to myself, stop, step back. Are you behaving rationally or emotionally? Are you being greedy? Or are you thinking out like a chess player 2 or 3 moves? And the reality is that I was looking at the screen that was being dealt with, the cards I was being dealt with on that screen, and all I saw was fear. And I was about to buy into it. And so I didn't want to go complete contrarian and say, okay, I'm going to short the gold stocks or put a big hedge on my gold stock position. So I said, okay, I'm not going to buy DUST, but what I will do, I'm going to buy an ETF that I've been looking for a pullback on to get in, and I bought a lot of it. So here's the chart, and we'll come back to this. This is why it pays to have a shopping list at the ready. And what I was looking at was LABU 2-hour chart, and one of my favorite setups on a stock that is in an uptrend, right? Weekly basis, monthly basis, is an uptrend, definitely on a daily basis. We were in a 2-hour consolidation here, and we broke out, and I wanted to get a pullback and a retest of the breakout point to validate that this breakout was for real. And Tuesday regular hours trade, I said, I'm not going to do it. I want to get the validation. Fast forward, the futures are tanking, nosediving. The news flow out of Fox News began to get tempered. And then Brett Baer came on, who's one of the guys I respect the most, along with Chris Wallace. And Brett Baer was somber. He was composed, very, very composed, and you knew that the White House party line was being filtered through Fox News, and Trump was nowhere to be found. So we bought in at 52.89, which was just below this support level here after hours. And I'll go back to the Twitter feed. And I posted this, strong possibility U.S. closing up tomorrow on S&P 500, which it did. Speculative buy, LABU, 52.89 after hours. And I put my nickel down, betting that the markets had it wrong and that the contrarian mentality would seize the day. And it did. So it just goes to show you that it's so critical. Just because fear or greed takes over doesn't make it right. And what we were looking at after hours was something that was just simply unsustainable. And sure enough, the reaction by 9 o'clock was that, okay, this is all over and done with. I was texting with a few very close members, and you knew that as soon as you saw gold start to roll over, that it was going to be an up day in the markets the following day. And here, I even posted this. Given news flow on Fox News side, it looks like the White House is guiding them through towards a dovish response. And this is on the 7th. This is after hours. So lesson learned here was don't listen to the talking heads. Listen to the Brett Baers of the world, and don't trade on emotion. Just don't do it. And step back from the brink. And thank God I did, because I would have woken up the next day. I would have bought NUGT at around 37 and change. I would have woken up down thousands on that trade. So we didn't do it. We held off, and we lived to play another day. And it's actually turned out to be a pretty good week. All right. So what else did we close out today besides LABU? We booked profits here today. It did reverse to close off the highs of the day, down up 43 cents. We also booked profits today on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a beneficiary of the fear that ensued. And we surged through the third standard deviation. Bollinger Band pulled back. I have a setup here that I'm waiting for on Bitcoin that we're looking to get fulfilled. We'll go to a weekly chart because we are looking to buy back in. Here's your weekly chart. Actually, no, it's not a weekly chart. It's a 4-hour chart. Here you go. Here's the weekly chart. We were breaking out. We failed to do so. We've been rejected so far. For all I know, we could be above it tomorrow, this upper band of resistance. But we're not. We're not there. We're being rejected. Gold is being rejected at current. That's probably going to pull back a little bit. The gold trade is not over by any stretch of the imagination. It's taken a rest. The bull run had been pulled forward due to Iran, but that trade is not over yet. So we'll be looking to add more to the gold stocks, silver, but right now, got to take a pause. So we're looking for a breakout here on Bitcoin, and we'll look to buy back in on a breakout above this upper band of resistance. So members, more to come. And we'll be doing a members private inner circle session at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I set up an alert to be a link to be sent out to you at 6:45 this evening. So it should hit your inbox at 6:45 tonight, so you don't have to wait. Germano, hey, how you doing, buddy? Who else joined us here? How can you be a contrarian in this market? I want to be. Well, being contrarian, there's many definitions, right? The textbook definition is that, okay, if it's a bull market, you have to short the bull market. That's ridiculous. What you do is just what we did with gold, right? Nobody's wanted gold for years. It's years. And we've been buying up the gold mining stocks. And we had a great year last year. And nobody's wanted them. They've wanted them for the past few days, and that's about it. Now they've sold them off. They don't want them again. What are we doing? We're getting ready to go back in and buy them back up. Why? Here's where the contrarian attitude comes in. Why do I want to buy the gold stocks when they're getting killed right now? The reason is the very same reason why I wanted to buy them last month. Remember, Iran wasn't an issue 2 weeks ago. But the gold stocks were going up higher. Why? The Federal Reserve, the debt, deficit spending. Has anything changed? No. It's only going to get worse. So now what they're doing is they're providing us an opportunity to buy more at depressed prices. It's great. It's fine. Love it. The prices will come to us. So that's where we're being contrarian. And when we see moves higher in names like, let's go to Apple. My son has been trading call options. He called me today to tell me he's making a killing on call options he bought on Apple. And here's Apple. And while I still think that Apple is going up higher, I'm looking to short Apple. So I may be short-term bullish on Apple, but there's a short setting up here because it all comes down to one word when you have a stock that looks like this. This bull run, this RSI on a daily, and especially on a weekly basis, the word is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. So we have RSI, and this is really the chart I'm looking at most, is the weekly chart of Apple. We have RSI at 88.91. Can it go to 90? Sure. I'm open-minded. I can appreciate, I've been around long enough to understand that the markets could stay far more irrational longer than I could stay solvent. That's a fact. So I'm not going to bet right now that Apple's going to collapse tomorrow. That's ridiculous. Right now, the path of least resistance is up. To fight that is crazy. But we will be looking for cracks in the dike. And when those cracks begin to appear, we will be in there looking to exploit Apple, probably buying put options and betting to the short side that we will be getting a pullback. Now, as it stands right now, they gapped it up higher today. We closed just off the highs of the day. There's no overhead supply above. There's no resistance. So who am I to say that Apple's done going up based upon one indicator on 2 time frames? I'm not that smart. You'd have to be lucky to short and make money right now. So being a contrarian requires patience, something that I was not born with. Believe me, it cost me a lot of money to learn patience. And we'll wait, we'll watch. This is a strong chart. And we'll begin by watching the 2-hour charts, seeing whether or not it is all still well. Looks good right now. Do we have any divergences? RSI making lower highs while prices are making higher highs? Not yet. So we'll be looking. And when it's appropriate, I'll send out an alert to members letting them know, hey, listen, we're looking to begin nibbling to the short side on Apple. Germano, in August when gold rallied, the miners GDX outperformed gold. In December, January rally instead, GLD outperformed the GDX. Why do you think? The reason is, and that's a great point that you bring up. The reason is that there was a fear premium in gold. Remember that who buys gold? Institutions, right? A lot of institutions will go out and they buy the physical, right? And that pumps up the electronic, that pumps up the GLD. Now, you could tell prior to, let's go to a 4-hour chart. Prior to Tuesday, they would not let gold drop. But when you overlay the gold stocks, you brought up the GDX, we use the GDX. Let's overlay it, price performance. The GDX is a trading vehicle. And I was asking the very same question. I was wondering, and I concluded that that's exactly what it was. You could see here, they were trading in tandem. Then all of a sudden, the GDX rolled over, yet gold was getting bid up higher. Why? You had institutions buying insurance. They were buying insurance in case of war. If the Iranians would have taken the position that they were going to close the Straits of Hormuz, gold right now would probably be in US dollar terms at all-time highs right now. But they didn't. So the insurance came off. The gold trade was killed for the very short term anyway. There's a lot of technical damage that's been done here. It's going to take a while to work it off. So our game plan here is going to be very much what it was during the November-December time period with the NUGT. And that is, rather than trading in and out of those positions, I just want to accumulate a position, a large position, and I want to sell out of the money covered calls and generate cash flow. And I'll be watching the intraday charts. We'll bring up the NUGT. Great observation, Germano. I had the same one. Great observation. So you can see NUGT is still under a lot of pressure. We're becoming oversold, but there's still more downward move here. I think we're going to see, I have a price target. I'll share it with members. I've already shared it. And we'll be buying up the NUGT. Do I think it's going to go skyrocketing higher? Immediately, we'll probably get a short covering rally. Then we'll pull back. We'll get a W formation formed. And then we'll probably break out. I think that it's probably dead money for several days to probably a couple of weeks. And we'll trade sideways. We'll have to work off all of this overhead supply that was generated these past several days, particularly on the GLD. You may see the GDX and the NUGT break out to new 52-week highs prior to gold, because there was so much more technical damage done on the gold, physical gold side than what there was on the mining side. So, interesting observation. It's going to be a very, very volatile year. So we plan on exploiting it as much as possible. Pat, market is still ahead for Apple 5G. Yeah, and that's the story, right? And if you, I don't know the story. If that's a story that's out there with Apple, that's fine. But you want to go back to the chart, and it goes back to, for all I know, Apple's going to be double by the end of the year. Again, I'm not that smart, right? So all I know is that there is a tremendous amount of sold half my position. I will be letting you know, Pat. No doubt about it. Congrats on the profits. Pat's talking about the NUGT. So the 5G is the story. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it could generate profits, but right now there's a lot of money floating into Apple. Look at this volume. You can't short this stock yet. This is institutional money. This is not mom and pop buying 100 shares of Apple. This is Vanguard. This is Goldman Sachs. You can't fight these guys. If you're shorting this stock right now, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. So I may be a contrarian, but I am not looking to lose my head. So there'll be an opportunity, but you just have to be patient. That's all. And we'll short it. We're not betting that Apple's going to crash. We're going to scalp a profit. That's all. All right. So I want to talk about, before I leave here, tomorrow, non-farm payrolls, folks. Non-farm payroll is going to be important because we have the markets. And before I leave here, I want to bring you back to last month's numbers. We had 266,000 jobs, a big beat. But remember, you had the GM workers that returned, right? If we get a beat tomorrow on non-farm payrolls, the market's probably going to come under some pressure. And that seems counterintuitive. That why would the markets come under pressure? Remember what's driving the market right now. It's not earnings. It's not organic growth in the economy. It's cheap money. And if there's any threat to the Federal Reserve not being accommodative, you're going to see yields shoot up higher and stocks move lower. So things will get real fast. So keep an eye on non-farm payrolls. If you're bullish on this market, you don't want to see a big beat. Okay. I want to talk about and folks, before I forget, if you can hit that like button, please, I'd really appreciate it. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithms. Share this video with a friend if you could. I beg of you, I want to get the word out, build up my audience here. 1,600 members. It's ridiculous. Subscribers. I need more. I have guys out there with 600,000, 23 years old, trading stocks. I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so the yield curve. This is the 2s versus 10s. So I've always cautioned about the yield curve and analyzing it the right way. And history has shown us that the yield curve tends to put in double bottoms and then steepens. And so on that steepening after the second leg of your double bottom, like you had back here. First leg of the double bottom in 2000. The right side also in 2000, but several months later. The markets were going through the roof, right? The dot-com bubble, everything was going well, right? Then it steepened. All of a sudden, recession. Fast forward. You had, the markets topped in March of 2000. I remember I was walking in Times Square, peeking at the NASDAQ stock exchange, and I was selling premium, selling puts on PMCC area. They've been since bought out. And I sold the 160 strike price 2 days prior. That day, the shares of PMC Sierra were at $2.55 per share 2 days later. That's how crazy it was. I digress. All right, so back here, back to the W formation on the yield curve. First leg here, 2006, February of 2006. Second leg here, December of 2006. Then, of course, the steepening, and we all know what happened then. Right now, we have the first leg in on the yield curve. I think that we are going to break. I think we're going to pull back down, and we are going to put in that second leg of a W formation. Does that mean you go selling stocks right now, next week, next month? No. The stock market will probably continue higher. The problem comes in when you get the steepening, when we begin to move up on the yield curve. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on as we begin to move into election season and we prepare for what I believe to be post-election fireworks that are going to happen in this economy. So more to come here on the yield curve. Let's take a look at how these markets are closing out the week, are poised. And remember, as I go over these charts, we have one trading day left to go with a major economic report. The yield curve inside week, we've popped higher on the week. Bonds, the 20-year bond price, we refresh, down on the week. They did close up today, though. The TLT did. Yeah, we had a bullish reversal bar on the day. So that pulled yields in a little bit. We came off the highs of the week today. And we're going to talk strategy in the members inner circle at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, members, you're going to get an alert at 6:45 in your inbox with the link to join in. The tips, horrible week this week. If we close anywhere near how we're closing out this week, not a good week. But we did rally off the lows of the day. But we do have a breakout point failure here. We broke out here on the 2nd of January. We have fallen back into this trading range here. Not good. Not good at all for tips. And this is a reason why you're seeing pressure on gold, silver, the miners, and also the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar's had a ballistic week this week. It's traded up very strong, and we appear poised for a breakout. If assuming we close out where we are at current or better on the week. The VIX hammered. Looks like it's going lower. The Dow Transports. We're poised for a major, major breakout on the Dow Transports. And I opened up this conversation today talking about how on the LABU trade 2-hour chart, we were looking for a pullback and a retest of the breakout point. What does that look like? It looks just like this chart on a weekly basis, though. Because here, we broke out the week of December the 23rd. You could argue the week of the 16th, but we'll say the 23rd. What did we do this week? We pulled back, did a retest of the breakout point. Why is that important? The reason why it's important is because traders are OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. They want to know that what was resistance is now support. They got it. We have broken out an RSI. We're hooking up very strong chart here if we close where we're at or better on the week. So very, very bullish setup here for the transports. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, weekly view. An outside reversal week, new all-time highs. Volume is not wonderful. Russell small caps, attempting a breakout on a weekly basis. They've been laggards. If you begin to see the small cap, look at this volume, horrible. If you begin to see the large caps weaken here, expect the algos to start moving money into the heavily shorted small cap stocks to get them going, and that'll be the next group to run. The S&P 500 outside reversal bar, this week. Very powerful chart. We're going higher. The banks, very powerful. We're going higher. The one thing I have to say about these charts, though, is that volume is not wonderful. Emerging markets, looking good. Meh. Be careful, emerging markets. If you have a strong U.S. dollar, they can keep a lid on the emerging market names with the strong U.S. dollar and rising yields. Energy. Weekly chart, we've taken a pause. We hit resistance. We pulled back. The daily chart, though, setting up interesting. Bullish key reversal bar today on energy. So we'll be looking at this sector as a possible long. Members will send out an alert if and when we do. Oil. Remember, this week was all about oil. And I'll tell you right now, if you think that the tensions over in the Persian Gulf are gone, you're wrong. If we break this support level here, remember that it's election season and that the frackers are one of the highest paying sectors of this economy. You need a high price per barrel of oil to keep the U.S. producers profitable. And if you see layoffs in the oil patch, not good, and especially during election season. So if you see a breakdown in oil further, expect more saber rattling in the Persian Gulf. Gold, we all know what happened here. We're still up on the week, surprising, but we're still up on the week. But we do have a reversal bar. We are holding 1550. If we hold, actually no, we're not holding 1550. Yeah, we are. I look at the wrong number. If we hold 1550, that would be impressive. That would be very, very impressive. And here's what we're looking for in 2020. Gold in dollar terms. This is asking a lot, I know, but breaking out to new all-time highs in dollar terms. And if you think that's crazy, it's at all-time highs in Canadian dollar terms, in euro terms, in Aussie dollar terms. So it's definitely possible. So we'll keep an eye on it, but the dollar will need to break for that to happen. And the weekly chart is looking pretty bullish for dollar right now. So I may have to eat my words there for a while anyway. NUGT, we've spoken about this. Members, we're going to talk more about NUGT. And what we're looking at here as possible long trades, this is a leveraged ETF putting you long of consumer discretionary. I think we're breaking out here. We were long, we booked profits. We booked profits too soon. We're looking to get back in. So far this week, we have an outside reversal month or a bullish engulfing. And it appears as though we are moving up higher. We'll do more of a deep dive on WANT in the inner circle, members. LABU, we've already spoken about this. This is the monthly chart, though, and this is why I want to get back involved with it on a pullback, is that we have a beautiful, beautiful W formation formed here. And all I'm looking for is a continuation move higher out of this W formation. So it's looking very nice. Stokes rising, RSI, very close to breaking out above the 50 mark, which is the neutral level. Let's go to the weekly chart. Beautiful price action, very close to an outside reversal. In fact, it's an outside reversal week. So we'll be looking to get back long again of LABU fairly soon. Fairly soon. I may sell puts on this one. They pay nice premiums. UGAZ, members, we're going to talk about this one. We began accumulating a position today on the UGAZ. One of the reasons why is that on a weekly basis, this is one of the first weeks in quite some time that we have not put in a new weekly low. And there are other reasons. I'm going to do a deep dive into why we opened up the position with members on the inner group. So please join us there. Members, we'll be sending out that alert. It should be in your inbox right now. And with that, I am going to say good night to everybody. Please hit that like button if you could. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button. And remember, if you enter your email address on that link below, it's an email list. I'll send you out an alert 15 minutes prior to us going live on Sunday nights and Thursday nights. And everybody have a great evening. Members, I'll speak to you in a little while. Be well. What happened to you? I love you, YouTube, but you're killing me tonight. Folks, if you're out there leaving comments, I was unable to see many of your comments, so I apologize. Very, very sorry. If you left comments, I wasn't being rude. I just didn't, I can't see them. The last one I saw was from Pat, and that's saying that's the story. So my apologies. Everybody have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.